Hi, y'all. Can someone explain why people were going crazy over the video of Michael Ealy hugging up on Meagan Good in front of her boyfriend Jonathan Majors? Many felt that this was a bit inappropriate, and some even speculated that Jonathan was salty about the hug. The video did look a little off because Michael Ealy was hugging everyone except Jonathan. That was awkward. However, Nightcast Media had the full video, and at the beginning, Michael did acknowledge Jonathan. They shared a hug, so Michael wasn't the villain people thought he was. Despite this, people started creating narratives about the whole interaction, closely watching Jonathan Majors' reaction. I'll admit, I was paying attention too, and I could tell that he wasn't pleased. Not to say he was mad, but he definitely didn't like that hug. I could tell by the expressions on his and Megan's faces afterward. But maybe I'm reading too much into it. Who knows? The unfortunate thing about Megan and Jonathan's relationship is that it will be heavily scrutinized because of how it began. They went public after Jonathan had an assault incident with his ex-girlfriend, Grace Jabari. Because of that incident, Jonathan now has a reputation for having a temper and being aggressive. To briefly revisit the incident, Grace saw him texting another woman, whom he called Cleopatra in his phone, and he said, "I wish I was kissing you right now." When Grace saw that, she went ballistic, tried to grab his phone, and they tussled over it. Jonathan broke free and started running, with Grace chasing after him. In the midst of their tussle, Grace got injured, leading to Jonathan being found guilty of third-degree assault. It was unintentional, but he was found guilty, which made him look like an abuser. Additionally, it was said that he was very controlling and got upset with his ex for getting drunk one night, telling her he wanted her to be like Michelle Obama and Coretta Scott King. These are his words, not mine.
Do you understand that?
Yeah.
Do you really though, baby? Do you really?
Yes.
Then how dare you come home drunk and disturb the peace of our house when we have a plan? Grace has to be in a certain mindset to support Coretta Scott King. You know who that is? That's Martin Luther King's wife. Michelle Obama, Barack Obama's wife.
I know, I'm not, I shouldn't have gone out. I'm
No,
sorry.
let me just lay it out for you, right? If I'm just gonna say this. My temper, my trauma, blah, all that said, right? And I'm not saying I'm a great man. A great man. The woman that supports me, that I support, that needs to be a great woman and make sacrifices the way that man is making for her and for them ultimately.
Do you understand that? Really? How dare you come home drunk and disturb the peace of our house when we have a plan? Grace needs to be in a certain mindset to support Coretta Scott King, Martin Luther King's wife, and Michelle Obama, Barack Obama's wife. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have gone out. My temper, my trauma, all that said, I'm not saying I'm a great man. But a great man needs a great woman who makes sacrifices for him and them, ultimately. He said, "I am a great man." Yo, Jonathan Majors, something about him is off. But I still think the whole trial between him and Grace was some BS, honestly, and it really tainted his reputation. Meagan Good stepped in to the rescue. She stood by his side, and many people wondered why she would do that. Why would she risk her reputation? Why would she support someone going through such a difficult situation? Initially, I thought Meagan was hired for PR purposes. Honestly, I didn't believe the relationship was real, but she has stayed with him. Even when people advised her against being with him, she didn't listen.
He actually tried to encourage me to not be with him. And I was like, yeah, that's not gonna happen. Yeah.
Did any friends advise you, like, he's in the middle of legal troubles, why don't you wait a beat? Why don't you wait to see how everything kind of shakes out?
Yeah, every friend advised me.
Yeah.
Jonathan himself told her not to be with him, but she ignored that advice too. He even tried to persuade me not to be with him, and I was firm in my decision to stay. Yes, friends did advise. He's in the middle of legal troubles. Why don't you wait to see how everything unfolds? And I received this advice often. Despite the encouragement to leave Jonathan, especially during his trial, Meagan stayed by his side, showing that she genuinely cares for him. I'm beginning to suspect that maybe Meagan was the one Jonathan was texting in the car, which triggered his ex-girlfriend's anger and led to the assault incident. It's possible that he was texting Meagan. I don't know for sure, but it could explain why she felt compelled to stand by him, even though the incident wasn't her fault. She might have thought, he's in this situation because he was texting me, and I know he's not the person people think he is, so I have to support him. I'm not saying this is definitely what happened, but I wouldn't be surprised if it did. I've noticed that Meagan is reluctant to discuss how she met Jonathan initially, which makes me wonder if she was talking to him while he was still with his ex.
We met at an event. I'm not going to get too into it, but yeah, and it just was instant chemistry, but I wasn't really in that mind frame. And then we re-met again about 4 months later.
How have you kept your relationship or started a relationship in the midst of all of this?
Well, I won't get into how it started, but what I will say is the support that we've been able to give each other, the pouring into each other, the honest conversations, the love, the respect, just the care and the thoughtfulness. It's been really wonderful.
She often says, "We met at an event," without going into details. There was instant chemistry, but she wasn't in the right mindset at the time, and they reconnected about 4 months later. When asked how they've maintained or started their relationship amidst all this, she avoids specifics but emphasizes the support they give each other, the honest conversations, the love, respect, care, and thoughtfulness that have made their relationship wonderful. At this point, how Jonathan and Meagan met doesn't really matter. They're together now, and it seems genuine. I truly wish them the best, even though there are moments when I feel uncertain. Meagan's star power is immense. Everyone knows and loves her. When she walks the red carpet, the focus is entirely on her, and Jonathan doesn't seem well adjusted to that. I believe he's naturally awkward and might be sensitive about how people perceive him. People no longer see him in the best light. He's not the sex symbol he once was, nor is he receiving glowing reviews for his artistry. Now, everything he does is scrutinized. Just recently, he was dancing to Kendrick's song "Not Like Us" and enjoying himself, but people mocked him, saying he danced like a slave and was shucking and jiving. It was mean and unnecessary. Additionally, the viral Michael Ealy video has people assuming that Jonathan might mistreat Meagan at home, giving her the Coretta Scott King lecture. There are so many narratives, and it makes me feel bad for him because it seems like he can't do anything without being criticized. I imagine that some of the criticism gets under his skin, and he shares his concerns with Meagan. If that's true, it could be overwhelming for her, as she would have to deal with his insecurities on top of everything else. Meagan mentioned feeling the need to protect Jonathan because of the criticism he faces. She said, "Honestly, the only thing that which I've been a little bit more sensitive about now, is there will be critiques like when Jonathan and I are on the carpet. I think I'm not bothered by it, but a part of me wants to protect him because I know how we are when we are us. You know, there'll be paparazzi taking pictures, and I'm like, whatever. And I have to be like, baby, you gotta smile there, smile." And for him, it's in his space. It freaks him out. He's not about the celebrity. He doesn't like to do all the stuff. He just wants to do the art, and all the other stuff to him. That's why he never did it before, because he doesn't want to do it. And our relationship kind of forced it. So when we're on the carpet, and I can just tell, he's a little bit uncomfortable.
Honestly, the only thing that which I've been a little bit more sensitive about now is there will be critiques like when Jonathan and I are on the carpet. I think I'm not bothered by it, but a part of me wants to protect him because I know how we are when we are us. There'll be paparazzi taking pictures, and I'm like, whatever. And I have to be like, baby, you gotta smile. And for him, it's in his space. It freaks him out. He's not about the celebrity. He doesn't like to do all the stuff. He just wants to do the art. And all the other stuff to him, that's why he never did it before, because he doesn't want to do it. And our relationship kind of forced it. So when we're on the carpet, and I can just tell, he's a little bit uncomfortable.
Meagan is now in a position where she feels she has to protect Jonathan, and it seems she's being used to rehabilitate his image. She has certainly helped him a lot and doesn't like people disrespecting him. She even addressed Katt Williams' comments about Jonathan on Club Shay. Katt Williams called Jonathan ugly, and Meagan politely checked him on that, part of giving you the world. First of all, they traveled around the globe for 2 years, telling any woman who would listen that this was a good-looking man of color. Since when? When did you start appreciating a big nose, a small head, and a large jaw? Since when? He looks like my father. When did you start liking my father? Do you really appreciate black people's features like that? If this unattractive person is considered good-looking, then all of us must be good-looking. Get out of here. Get out of here, unattractive man. Yeah. What's it like working with Katt on set? Katt's a sweetheart. He's a sweetheart. I've seen his interviews. He's a sweetheart. I'll leave it at that. Cancel, baby. What? I'm gonna say what? I'm sorry, but my man is sexy to me. Yeah, he's very sexy. Okay. Oh, I forgot. We just need to be completely clear on that.
Part of giving you the world. First of all, they went around the world for 2 years straight telling any women that would listen that this was a good-looking Negro. Mm-hmm. Since when? When did y'all start liking a big nose? And when did y'all like a little head and a big jaw? When? Since when? That look like my daddy. When you start liking my daddy? You like black people's features like that? If this ugly nigga is good looking, then all niggas is good looking. Get out of here. Get out of here, ugly boy.
Yeah. What's it like working with Katt on set?
Katt's sweetheart. He's a sweetheart. I seen his interview. He's a sweetheart. I'm gonna leave it at that.
Cancel,
but that's what I am gonna say.
What?
I'm sorry, but my man is sexy to me.
Yeah.
Okay, he's very, very sexy.
Okay.
To me.
I forgot.
We just need to be all the way clear on that.
That was so crazy. That was crazy. Katt Williams is a trip, man. Just to put what he said into context, he was talking about how Hollywood was promoting Jonathan Majors as this sex symbol, but suddenly, when he messed up, they tore him down. So in the midst of talking about that, he called Jonathan ugly, which Jonathan's not ugly. He might not appeal to everyone, but I don't think he's ugly. I think he's somewhat attractive, at least in my opinion, but whatever. But I wish Meagan and Jonathan all the best. I know some people think their relationship has a lot of red flags. I don't know them personally. I don't know what's going on behind the scenes between them, but I do hope that both of them are getting used to going public with each other. I think Meagan is okay with it, but I'm not sure if Jonathan is. And I just hope he doesn't start to resent Meagan because of the publicity and scrutiny he's getting. I just hope it doesn't come to that. You know what I mean? But anyway, I also want to briefly talk about Meagan speaking on her divorce from her ex-husband, Devin Franklin. She spoke very eloquently about it. She said she and Devin are good friends to this day, but at the time, she was upset about it. She said she was mad that he left her. Going through the divorce shook me to my core. I was just like, but Lord, you asked me to be celibate. I was. You told me who to marry. I married that person. I tried to do everything to the best of my ability. And no, I didn't do everything perfectly, but I don't know that I could have done anything differently if I'm being honest. I was just like, why is this happening? My greatest fear was for my husband to leave me after 10 years of marriage, just like my dad and mom separated. At the time, I was so mad at Devin, but now I think what he did was very brave. It was a very scary thing to know that the church and all the people were going to say, well, this is not what a man of God or a woman of God does. And of course, there were a lot of people who were like, Meagan must have done something. And I'm like, what? My ex-husband is a wonderful human being, a beautiful human being. But nevertheless, I still was incredibly hurt. I was incredibly devastated. I was incredibly angry, as I'm sure he was as well.
Going through the divorce, that shook me to my core. I was just like, but Lord, you asked me to be celibate, and I was. You told me who to marry. I married that person. I try to do everything to the best of my ability, and no, I didn't do everything perfect, but I don't know that I could have done anything different, if I'm being honest. I was just like, why is this happening? My greatest fear was for my husband to leave me after 10 years of marriage, the way that my dad and my mom separated. At the time, I was so mad at Devon, but now I think what he did was very brave. It was a very scary thing to know that the church and all the people, everyone was going to be like, well, this is not what a man of God or a woman of God does, And of course, there were a lot of people who were like, well, Meagan must have done something. And I'm like, what? My ex-husband is a wonderful human being, a beautiful human being. But nevertheless, I still was incredibly hurt. I still was incredibly devastated. I still was incredibly angry, as I'm sure that he was as well.
I think this was the first time I've seen Meagan speak this openly about her divorce from Devon. She said that she was angry. She was angry. And if you don't know, Devon was the one who filed for divorce. We don't know the reason why, but it seemed like it was amicable. It seemed like it was mutual from the way they both announced it. Some believe that maybe Devon was the one heartbroken in the situation because Devon has been more open about his divorce. He even posted a picture of himself crying, and people were like, oh my God, what did Meagan do to this man? But in reality, she didn't do anything. I don't think he did anything either, but Meagan didn't leave him heartbroken and distressed like some people may have thought. In fact, she was the one confused and distressed because he left her, and we still don't know the reason why. But I personally think that they were incompatible. I think their lifestyles were different, and they were moving in different directions. That's just my personal belief, but it's cool to hear that they are still friends. But anyway, tell me what you all think about this video down below. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and share this video if you care. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.